Welcome everyone back to the European Journeyman. In today's episode, we have a quarter-final game in the Slovenian Cup, and then we are at home to Olympia, a top-of-the-table clash at the top of the Slovenian division. Since you last left us, things have been quite mixed. So we played Olympia, got absolutely smashed. From then, we had a 2-2 draw with a very, very late winner, very late equaliser, should I say, from a penalty against Illuminage. We then beat Maribor 3-1. We progressed in the round of 16 of the Slovenian Cup by beating Mura. We then drew 2 games against Bravo and Kelj before beating Koper, losing to Mura, and then back-to-back league wins against Domžal and Romdelj, who are bottom of the league, so it's worrying that we are struggling. Slovenian Cup is very weird. We are playing a second division side. Ragoshka, who won it last year, are back again into the semi-finals after beating a non-league side. We are going to play a non-league side if we can get past Kirka today, because 2 non-league sides in Drava and Adria actually got to the quarters, and Drava went through on penalties. So a semi-pro side awaits the winner. So basically, if we win this, we're probably in the final because we'll definitely beat them. Maribor play Brzish, who are a non-league side. So potentially could be a final of us and Ragoshka, or us and Maribor, probably the most likely one. But we need to beat Kirka today. They currently sit 4th in the second league, so not a bad side at all. And this is the team we're going with. In goal, we've got Kosija, back 4 of Agu, Moretti, Kavelj, and Danutso. Bernardo is been decent. He's just getting slower, and we've been conceding too many goals from just balls over the top and his legs being gone, basically. Danutso at left back, midfield 2 with Fey and Goranak. Reason for that is Murillo is currently out injured, and he has been for the last few games. Goranak has learnt the position now, so he's starting regularly. Tiara on the right, Pajaro on the left, Zizek and Vogrincic up top. He has got more than 1 goal this season. It's just because the loans have kind of been split. So he scored the 1 in the cup. He hasn't scored in 7 league games though, and he scored 4 in 14 in the league. So he's not actually that good anyway, but we don't really have any other strikers. Irabiso is out injured, and obviously we can't play Obrejon because we are only allowed 3 non-EU players. So Zizek and Vogrincic come in, and that is the bench as small as it is. So we definitely need a striker. We definitely need probably a left back. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the squad. Wingers I'm happy with. We are the favourites, so let's go and win this and progress to what will essentially be the semi-final, which should really take us to the final because we are playing a non-league side. But we have to beat these first, and then we've got a massive league fixture against Olympia. Forgot to show you the table. We are 4 points behind Olympia, so a win would put us just 1 point behind. Obviously, we are still in second, so they're top of the league. They're really flying with it, but yeah, they've been winning most of their games. We've been a little bit hit and miss, to be honest, recently. We're just struggling to at both sides. We just don't keep clean sheets anymore. And there you go, there's another one. Conceding against a second division side when we're going for a league title just doesn't scream league champions to me. I do feel like perhaps we are just going to be a top, finish in the top 3. But there you go. We'll still obviously chase for it, but we need to get ourselves back in this game, because this is probably our best. Well, this is our only direct route. What am I talking about? This is the only way, us winning is the only way we can confirm one of those top 4 spots doesn't go to the cup winner, because everyone else that's still left, besides Maribor, aren't even in the first division, and Maribor are like sitting 6th or 7th, so they are quite a ways away from being in a European spot, so they really need to win the cup. We need to win it so that we get the Europa League. If we're not going to finish top, which is of course Champions League qualification rounds, we need to be going into the Europa qualification rounds, because if we finish second and Maribor or someone else win the cup, oh my god, it's at the bar. We're not doing well. We're not doing well again. If Maribor or anyone else win the cup, they're going to take the European spot, and then that's going to go. We're going to be in Conference League qualifiers, which really isn't that good because you've got to basically go really far in them. Which is a shame. So we really want to be getting Europa League at a bare minimum. So we really want to be winning this and winning the cup in general. But at the minute, it's not looking likely at all, because we've just not come out the gates strong at all. We are at home, so it shouldn't be making too much difference that we're playing a weaker opposition. But maybe they're flying because they're in 4th. But we're in 2nd. So we're in 2nd in a better division. But we are It's not working today, and we are looking very slow. Faye is looking very tired. He's probably going to need to be taken off. Good tackle from Moretti, but the ball just comes straight back to us. Kirka now coming forward. Big gap in midfield. They've found it. They've shot, but it's a poor effort on goal. And it remains 1-0 to Kirka. They do have a free kick to end off the half. We just need to hopefully see this out, make some changes at halftime and come out refreshed. But it's a good ball over the top, and if they can get the ball back in, they do. Journeyman now on the edge of the box has a shot. It's a so it was actually a tame effort, but it ended up hitting the post. Looked like it actually had beat the goalkeeper, but very poor from us. These are a second division side, and surprised by the number of teams that just aren't in it anymore. We will bring Egan Riley on. Alison Fay not having a good game, so we'll take him off. We will also take Moretti off for Bernardo, who can score from corners, so you never know, might be our only route to goal, because we're just not scoring. For Grinčić and Zizek just really not playing very well as of late, and we just don't have another striker, so striker is definitely a top priority, but I doubt we'll get anyone in before the end of the season. If we did, we probably wouldn't have time to get them up to match fitness for the important games. So we'll just have to keep going. We are not looking good. What is going on? Why are we so poor? Oh my God, they've hit the bar again. We need to create something. We're not doing anything. Every highlight is just them straight back at us. Felix Agu's been injured a couple of times. He's been really poor as well. Really been unhappy with his contributions to the team. He looked like a good player as well. Diarra's not playing well, so again, we'll make a sub. We'll bring Emery Moore on. Do we bring Shaibu on? We might as well. Zizek's going off. Shaibu's coming on. And actually, I was going to swap them round, but we'll see how we get on from the corner. Grinčić in the box. Thought he was going to find Bernardo, but he doesn't. It does indeed fall to Shaibu off the bench, and Shaibu smacks one, top bins. Lovely stuff. Tabor, Sezana 1, Kirka 1, and we are back in the tie with some changes. Love to see it, but the highlight comes straight back down to our end, and I could imagine them just going and getting it there, but no. Good bit of defending there from Pajaro, but the ball just straight back at us. We just can't seem to get a hold of it when we do win it back. And we are looking definitely the worst team out of these two games, but we just need to keep the pressure on, hopefully get ourselves a chance, and we'll definitely like the long balls. It falls to Gobrenak and falls to Shaibu. He can play through his man. He should be playing through. Grinčić there. I know he's not a prolific goal scorer, but you've got to give him the opportunity. Grinčić now from the corner, whips it in. Can he find Bernardo? He can't. Tries to find someone else. It ends up back to Grinčić's feet. Cutting inside. Oh, I thought he was going to have a go himself, but he doesn't. Does fall back to him. Oh, he did really well to get around his man, but the angle just too tight, and he hits the post. Shaibu now, lots of highlights. Shaibu now running down the right-hand side, plays it to Agu, into Emery Moore. Yet to see the best of him so far, but Emery Moore loses it, but gets it back. Good ball into Shaibu's brought down. Penalty. Definite penalty. He's been absolutely clattered, and it will be Gabriel Danuzzo to take. He's absolutely lethal from penalties. He's definitely scoring this one, and he has done. Willed it into existence. Gabriel Danuzzo makes it 2-1, and now we can... I was going to say take him off, but we actually don't have any players on the bench. So he's going to have to see it out for the next 20 minutes. 20 minutes to go. We are 2-1 up, and this gives us a nice route to the final now, if we can beat this, because we should be beating a non-league side, and then really it's just depends who we get in the final. Obviously, we've made kind of tough work of this as well. But looking at the stats, I think second half we've probably improved quite a bit, and we are probably the better team. Agu's on a really poor rating. I just don't know what's up with him. He just doesn't seem to be clicking at the club. And he's been playing in the Bundesliga, so you'd expect him to be good. He wasn't very good in the Bundesliga, but still, you'd expect him to be, quite good in Slovenia. If you're not good in the Bundesliga, you'd expect to be good in Slovenia because it's such a big drop off. But there you go. I mean, if you're getting games, what I mean is if you're getting games in the Bundesliga, you'd think even if you weren't very good, obviously they saw enough in you to be giving you the games. So you must be okay, I guess it doesn't always work like that. But Emery Moore running down the right-hand side. Can we see something from him? Plays it to Egan Riley. Into Shaibu. Lovely turn. Lovely finish. Shaibu makes it 3-1. Lovely stuff. And he's been a really good impact sub. 2 goals from him off the bench. Love to see it. And we may have... Maybe he could play up front. Maybe he could be our striker, because he seems to be banging them in much more than Grinčić is. And much more than Zizek and Berizzo is. I mean, they've been okay, but we have to play Grinčić in the league because we need to have that one player in. So we don't really have much choice on him, but I think of the other strikers, Zizek is usually the one that I give the nod to. He's probably the most consistently average. Obviously, the rest are pretty poor, to be honest. Oberito has quite a few goals, but a lot of them came against lower league teams in the cup. Kirk do get themselves one back. Thankfully, it is far too late for it to be anything more than consolation. But honestly, good effort from them. They really did test us today. And on another day, they probably beat us. So a little bit disappointed with our performance. Again, too many goals going in the other end, but good stuff. Maribor went through, as you'd expect, 5-0 beaten of a non-league side. So we will play NK Drava in the semi-final, which we will obviously do off camera because we should just be beating that. So now we'll go play Olympia. Big challenge. Obviously, this is the league table. Big challenge. They've qualified for Conference League, so I think a win would probably do us the same, potentially. Not sure. We are definitely finishing top 4. I think we're definitely finishing top 3 as well. So we will probably have some form of Europe next season, but obviously we really want it to be Europa League. Ideally, if we can win the league, you go into Champions League. So you would still want it. At worst case scenario, I think we're probably finishing second and getting this one, so we're probably getting the second qualifying round, which is not bad, but not as good as obviously getting in Champions League. Even if you go out, you go down to Europa League, Conference League, etc. So there's a good chance for progression even if you go out. So but anyway, enough yapping, let's go to the Olympia game. So for our second game of the episode, we are at home to Olympia in a top-of-the-table clash. We are going to go with the same team that played the second game. That played the first game. Kurusija in goal, back four of Agu, Moretti, Kavelj and Danuzzo, Fay and Goranak in midfield, Diaro, Pajaro and the wing, and then Zizek and Vogrincic up top. We still, injuries still plaguing a couple of players, so quite a small bench. Obrujan obviously can't come in because of the EU rules. I think we'll move him on next season. He just, whenever we've had to give him a chance, he's just not been very good. And if we could get some money for him, great. If not, we'll try and integrate him, but we'll try and move him on. But this is a massive game. Let's get the league table on, because as you can see, if we do win today, we will be just 1 point behind Olympia with about 5 games to go. So very much in our grasp if we can win today. We got hammered by them the last time we played them, so really the biggest thing is avoiding that. But a draw probably isn't enough either. They've just been on such good form. I don't see them dropping too many points. Obviously, a win gives us the in that they need to just drop it once, if provided we win all of our games. But that is provided we do win all of our games, which has definitely not been the case so far. But Diarra plays it through. Should have found an option in the middle. I don't know. I think they might have just took a deflection, to be fair, and he did try that, but doesn't end up in a goal. We do get a corner, and you'd really like Bernardo to be on the pitch when you've got a corner, but he's just so slow at the back now. The 36-year-old, we just can't afford to play him. Moretti, he's here till next season, so we might as well get him involved. But I do think there's a few problem areas we need to really address. I think we really need a better, probably 2 really good centre-backs, because obviously Cavell just loan's done at the end of the year, and then Bernardo's retiring. We probably need a really good left-back as well. Midfield, I'm happy with. Wingers, I'm happy with. I think we need at least 1 really good striker, but probably 2 as well. Ideally, we get Vogrincic back, because even though he's pretty average, he is just, what's it called? He's the under-21, and he will be next season. So unless we can find one of our own who's really good, one of our own under-21s, it does hamstring you a little bit, but you've just got to, I guess, do the best with it you can. We don't have anyone coming through our academy who would suffice. We have obviously got that Sanak, who played, I think, 1 game for us, but he's probably a little ways off. If he becomes like a second league quality player, he'd probably be the one I'd rely on. As Diarra puts us 1 goal ahead. That's a lovely finish, by the way, from Ibrahim Diarra. He is still improving all the time. We do have a couple of young players who are progressing. Obviously, we've got Murillo in midfield and Diarra. Pajaro is only like 20 odd or 21, so he definitely qualifies as one of those young players. Olympia hit the post, thankfully, does go wide, but we are just a point behind now, which, if we can hold on to this, I'll be very happy with this, even if it's just a 1-0. We haven't had a clean sheet in so long. Blanco's come on, who I'm pretty sure scored quite a few against us last time, so hopefully he is kept quiet today. But yes, this is very good stuff, 1 point behind, and we look much better today. Diarra going down the right-hand side, looking for an option, finds Pajaro in midfield, knocks it back. Vogrincic is there, and it doesn't finish. It's like 3 yards out, Vogrincic, man. Just put your bloody head on it and smash it in. It's just not hard enough. Doesn't beat the goalkeeper. He's such a frustrating figure. He really is. Danuto now whips one in. Zizek a back stick. He's brought down. That's got to be a penalty. It has been a penalty. Referee's going to consult with VAR, but looked like a penalty to me. It looked like Zizek went for it and just got dragged down. And it has been given. Danuto to take. It's the only time he ever scores. He never scores from open play. It's always from a pen. But he's very good at them. He very rarely misses. And he's scored again. I don't think he's ever missed. Danuto scores again. 6th penalty goal of the season for him. And to be fair, I guess all of our strikers' goals have come from open play. So even if they aren't always amazing, they are at least scoring open play goals. We will bring Shaibu on. We'll also bring Emre Moore on as well on the left-hand side. We'll leave the other subs in case we need them. Still quite a bit of time left, 30 minutes left. I do feel like Emre Moore's the kind of player that he'd be playing better if he was in, week out, but I just can't fit him in. Pajaro and Diarra are just... Diarra and Pajaro, I mean, they're good players. I don't want to drop them. They're young, and they're probably the kind of players that you could sell on for big money and repair the club's financial damage, because we are struggling a little bit. I can imagine the board really, even if we won the league, not giving us a great budget next year. We really need to get in the Champions League one, because that gives you the most money just by going through all the different variations of qualifiers. So we really need that one, to be honest. But there is quite a bit of money in this league. Obviously, we didn't get too much last season being in the league below. We did get a bit more. We will get a bit more this season. I think the best we can probably hope for is... bring Bernardo on for Caveld. The best we can probably hope for is just to break even at the end of the season. Once the sponsorship comes in, Olympia with the corner. Do put it over. Yeah, with the sponsorship coming in, and then I think you get about 500 odd K for winning the league, which again we may not do. We are still a point behind. Keep that in mind. But yeah, so it's really important. I think we will obviously repair the club's financial damage a little bit with all that stuff coming in. Hopefully, with being in Europe, we get like an extra sponsorship or something as well. But ideally, we could really do with a big sale, like £1 million for Pajaro or something like that. We could do with a big sale, especially to one of our non-EU boys. That would really help us out. If it was Pajaro or Diarra, then we can start getting the other, someone else involved. But very good win there. We were yapping about other things. Really, we should have been yapping about the game, but we have won. I do look at the goal difference as well and worry that if it does, I imagine it comes down to goal difference. We have booked a Europa Conference League place, which is great. So at the very least, we will be in some form of Europe next year, which is, a massive overachievement, I guess, because we really only had to avoid relegation. But we've been top of the league for so long, it almost feels like a little bit disappointing if we don't win it. We have been second for quite a few weeks now, though. But we've always been in the top three. So, I think Europe was... When we won the opening day 4-1 or whatever it was, I just always thought we must be getting into Europe because... it can't be that big of a difference. So we won't play... we'll basically go to the end of the season. So just the 3 league games and a cup game in between, and we will be back for Bravo and Domžale. 2 teams near the bottom end of the table. Hopefully we are either first or second by the time... hopefully it's still within a point when we come back. But that's going to be the next episode. Bravo and Domžale. If we get to the Slovenian Cup final, maybe we'll just do the Cup final as well. We might just do it all in one game. So otherwise, if we don't, we might, I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll just see how it works out. But we should be coming back for at least Bravo and Domžale for the next episode. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the European Journeyman, and I will see you for more very soon.